Mira poisoned Rumi's drink at dinner. Jinu had no idea, but the baby saw everything. Watch until the end. That night, the dinner table glowed warm. A family gathered calm and close. But somewhere beneath that warmth, a deadly plan was already in motion. The baby sat in her chair, watching every single move with wide, knowing eyes. Rumi set the last plate down and whispered, "Tonight feels perfect, doesn't it?" Mira walked in slowly, carrying a bottle, her smile too wide and too rehearsed. "You've been working so hard, Rumi," Mira said softly. "You deserve this." Rumi smiled and reached for the glass. No suspicion, no hesitation at all. But the baby grabbed Rumi's sleeve and pulled with all her tiny strength. "Hey, what's wrong, little one?" Rumi laughed, ungently pulling her close. Mira's eyes shot to the glass, just for a second. But the baby had seen it. The glass reached Rumi's lips. One sip, and the room fell completely silent. Something shifted behind Rumi's eyes. A flicker, then a terrible sudden blank. The baby screamed. Rumi's hand dropped. The glass shattered on the floor. Jinu came running, and the moment he saw her face, his whole world stopped. "Rumi, look at me! Rumi!" His voice broke as he caught her before she fell, and through the chaos, one tiny trembling hand pointed straight at Mira. Jinu's hands were shaking as he dialed for help, but his phone was dead. Mira stood by the door, perfectly still, watching with unreadable cold eyes. The baby crawled to Rumi, pressing her tiny hand against her mother's chest. Jinu grabbed Mira's arm. "What did you give her? What was in that glass?" Mira didn't flinch. She tilted her head and slowly smiled back at him. "You were never supposed to find out, Jinu," she whispered. "Not tonight." Those words hit him like a blade. He had heard that voice in another life. Jinu's mind cracked open. Mira wasn't just a friend. She was never a friend. Abby burst through the door, breathless, holding something small and torn. "Jinu, I found this in Mira's bag. Read it. Every single word. Right now." The note had one line, 3 words. And Jinu's face turned completely white. Rumi's breathing slowed. Each breath smaller, quieter, further and further. The baby pressed her ear to Rumi's heart and let out a soft, broken cry. Jinu dropped to his knees, tears falling hard. "Please, just stay with me." But Mira had already slipped out the door, vanished into the cold, dark night. And then Abby said it. The note wasn't Mira's. It was written by Rumi herself. Rumi had known. She had known all along, and she had chosen to say nothing. Rumi's note trembled in Jinu's hands. Ink smeared from old dry tears. She had written it 3 days ago, hidden where only Abby would ever find it. "If something happens to me, it wasn't luck. Protect our baby. Trust no one." Jinu read it once, then stood up. His grief hardened into something cold and sharp. Abby grabbed his arm. "The hospital just called. Rumi is still breathing, Jinu." But the doctor's voice cracked on the phone. "She has maybe 2 hours left." The baby reached up and touched Jinu's face. Soft, steady, completely unafraid. That one tiny touch broke him open and pulled him back from the darkest edge. He found Mira at the old bridge, standing still, staring into the black water below. "Why, Mira?" His voice split open raw. "After everything, why would you do this?" Mira turned slowly, and her eyes held something nobody in that story expected. Grief. "Because she was leaving you, Jinu." She had already packed every single bag. The ground shifted beneath him. He grabbed the railing. His whole body went hollow. "I thought I was saving your family," Mira whispered. "I thought I was saving you." Back at the hospital, the machine flatlined once, then surged back into steady rhythm. The baby pressed her small, warm palm flat against the cold glass of the hospital door. Rumi opened her eyes slowly, and the very first name she whispered was "Baby." Jinu collapsed beside her bed, sobbing. "Were you really going to leave us, Rumi?" Rumi looked at him, tired, broken, but completely clear, and said nothing at all. Was Mira a villain, or just someone who loved too dangerously? And did Rumi's silence mean guilt, or was she protecting a secret far bigger? Drop your answer below. The comment section already knows what you think.